So in Agile we have different methodologies like Scrum, XP and different kind of things, but Scrum is mostly widely used. So we'll learn Scrum. Scrum came from the word scrummage. In rugby, you'll have scrummage. Scrum means restarting. Scrum is an iterative incremental framework for managing projects. So iterative incremental, focusing on managing systems with changing requirements. So we'll see what iterative and incremental means. So we'll just note down the words, whatever we are coming across. We'll deal each of them one by one. Iterative or iterative, whatever you want to call, you can call it. That means iterative means repetitive. Repetitive. What is spelling? Iterative means repetitive, and incremental, and also collaborative. So what are these three things? We'll see eventually. In Agile, we have something called as sprint. First, we need to talk about sprint. Sprint is 2 to 4 weeks time period. Sprint is 2 to 4 weeks time period. In these 2 to 4 weeks, you will develop a potentially shippable product. What you will develop? A potentially shippable product. That means a product which can be used. Doesn't matter how small it is, but you'll still be able to develop something in these 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks means either 2 weeks or either 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Once you fix the sprint time, it will remain the same all over your project. Okay, you need to remember this. Sprint is of 2 to 4 weeks. Each company has their own standards. Some companies go for 2-week sprints, some companies go for 4-week sprints, some companies stay in between and go for 3-week sprints. Okay, right. So the first sprint, sprint 1, that means first 2 weeks. Let's say we are developing login screen. And sprint 2, next 2 weeks again. If you are starting this Monday, 2 weeks from this Monday is your next sprint, and sprint 2 will develop some inbox or something. Sprint 3 will develop next 2 weeks, will develop compose or something, and that's the end of our product. When you're developing all these things, you need to retest, sorry, wrong terminal. You need to regress the login screen again when you finished inbox, and when you finish compose, you need to regress login screen and inbox again, isn't it? To do that stuff, we'll use automation. That's why automation completely blends with Agile. Automation completely blends with Agile. Okay. Now I'll introduce you to something new called as product backlog. What is product backlog? Product backlog is a list of features or is a list of things which needs to be developed. Okay, we'll take a table. There may be a list of features for us, like we need to develop Google search feature, we need to develop login screen, we need to develop Google chat, we need to develop Gmail, we need to develop Picasa web albums, we need to develop maps. So many things are there. So this is my product backlog. Okay, who will define this product backlog? The client or the company will define the product backlog. From this product backlog, we'll take these things into another backlog called as sprint backlog. So sprint backlog, for each sprint you'll have a sprint backlog. So sprint 1 backlog, for example, sprint 1 backlog, I will take this. Business owner will prioritize this, the product owner will prioritize this, like he will say login screen I need first, then I need Gmail second, then I need Picasso third, then I want maps fourth, chat fifth, and search sixth. This is priority. They'll have different priorities, and based on the priority we have to develop the login screen first. So I will take this login screen into my first sprint. Along with it, I think I can do some more work, so I am taking Gmail also into my first sprint. These are the two things, or if I think I can achieve more, I'll take 3 things into my sprint 1. I'll take 3 things into my sprint 1. Okay, and sprint 2. Sprint 2, this Picasso in sprint 1 login is completely finished, Gmail is completely finished, but Picasa is left over, so it will not go into sprint 1. Then what we'll do is we'll put back this Picasa into the same place in product backlog, and the product owner comes and says, now Picasa is not very important for me, I need most important thing is search functionality, please do the search functionality. So we'll get back the search functionality in sprint 2. In sprint 3, he may ask that Picasa is important now, so we'll get back the leftover Picasso and we'll do it in sprint 3. All these things, all this taking from product backlog into sprint backlog is done in a meeting called as, so we'll see what meetings we have in Agile. We'll see all these things are done in a meeting called as sprint backlog meeting. Okay, taking the prioritizing and taking the features from product backlog into sprint backlog is called as sprint planning meeting. Sorry, sprint planning meeting. The next interesting meeting which we have is daily stand-up meeting. Daily stand-up meeting. Daily stand-up meeting is also called as Scrum meeting. And the other meetings are sprint retrospective, and sprint review meeting. Okay, you'll also have sometimes sprint review meeting and also have a demo in it. We'll see what are these. And you'll have sprint retrospective. Okay, you know what sprint planning meeting is. In sprint planning meeting, what things will happen. First thing is products are taken from product backlog to sprint backlog. And the second thing is estimations will be done. What is estimation? Like they will say like I can develop login screen in 10 days or I can develop login screen in 5 points. They will speak in terms of points, you'll understand slowly, or you can also term it in points of in terms of time. So they'll estimate the effort or time here. This estimation is done in a particular way which we'll discuss a bit later. Okay, this sprint planning meeting you will do this. You'll prioritize this feature. You will not prioritize these features, but the product owner will prioritize these features. You will take these features into your sprint backlog and start working on it. Daily stand-up meeting. What happens in daily stand-up meeting?
One moment, please.
Yeah.
Actually, do we involve in sprint planning meeting? Who will be involving in it?
Okay, we'll talk about roles now. Who all will be involved? First business analysts or product owners. Next, developers, testers, and any other management staff if you want, they will be involved. Okay, these people will be involved in these meetings. We are very much involved in sprint planning meeting because we will also do estimation. Estimation is estimated all together in terms of development and testing. So you need to give your estimate there. How we'll do the estimates, we'll deal with later. And also you'll define something called as acceptance criteria along with the business analyst. Okay, you'll write a user story and define acceptance criteria. We'll see in tomorrow's class about that. Okay, what do? We'll define acceptance criteria. What is acceptance criteria, what is user story and all we'll see in tomorrow's class. Okay. Daily stand-up meeting. Yes, Saujanya, is your doubt cleared?
Yes, Kiran. In the sprint planning meeting, yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Note down all your doubts and keep asking me.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't keep any doubts in mind. Okay. In daily stand-up meeting, we'll have 3 things to do. It is only a 10-minute meeting. Maximum 10 to 15 minutes meeting. Every day in the morning or evening, you'll do this meeting. Everyone will gather in front of a board called as Scrum board, and they will be asked 3 questions by Scrum Master. There is someone called as, in roles, there is someone called as Scrum Master. Scrum Master facilitates meetings. The work of Scrum Master is to facilitate meetings. He will conduct these meetings. He will see there is good flow in this Agile. Agile is working properly. The responsibility of Scrum Master is to see that Agile is going on well or not. Agile methodology. Okay. What are the 3 questions which are asked in Scrum Master? What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? any obstacles. That's all. They won't discuss anything else other than these in daily stand-up meeting. Anything else, any big problem, it needs to be taken out of this meeting. This meeting is only 10 minutes. Everybody will be answering these 3 questions. I worked on so and so thing yesterday, and today I'll be working on so and so thing. Yesterday I worked on login screen interface. Today I'm working on login screen buttons or something. And if you have any problems or obstacles, you can say, like, for example, you need to test something and you did not get it. You did not get the environment set up yet. You don't have that in your system yet. Then that's the obstacle. When you can raise in stand-up meeting so that it will be noted and someone from the group will help you at that point of time. Okay, and we have very little time now, so we'll quickly go through the slides until here. Rest of the story will continue tomorrow. Okay, so why these 3 words? Why iterative? Why iterative? Because after first sprint, again you'll have sprint 2. After sprint 2, again you'll have sprint 3. What do we have in sprint? What do we have in sprint? In sprint, you'll have all your waterfall model life cycle in one sprint. In one sprint itself, you'll have your requirement analysis, your design, your development, and your testing. In one sprint, you have all these things. And again, in next sprint, it starts from requirements, design, development, testing, and everything. It is repeating, so it is called as iterative model. Okay, you don't need to wait for 1 year or 6 months to complete all these stages. We do all these stages in 2 weeks. Rather, we'll develop very small thing, but we'll do it in 2 weeks. Okay, what is incremental? At the end of each sprint, you're developing a potentially shippable product. Like at the end of first sprint, you're developing login screen. Second sprint, you'll develop something else. Third sprint, you'll develop something else. So it is incremental. What is collaborative? Everyone will work together in teams. That's why it's called as collaborative. Right. The goal of Agile is to develop as much as quality software as possible within series of short interval. Why do you think the Agile software is of high quality than waterfall model software?
We can make changes anytime.
Making changes, does it make the software?
Software will be as chunks, like small pieces.
If the software is in chunk, do you think it is of high quality? Which software can be treated as high quality software?
Which contains less bugs or defects.
Yeah, which is tested thoroughly, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you say Agile is Agile products are more superior than waterfall model? Because waterfall model, the testing is only done in testing phase. Here, the testing is done for every sprint. Every sprint we test each and everything, each and every product once again. We'll regress it. Do you understand? So the quality is definitely higher than the waterfall model software. It will, we can also sometimes get hidden bugs in following sprints when we are regressing the feature again and again. Sometimes we may get different kinds of sprints with different combinations of other softwares. Okay, this is the Scrum process. Don't get confused by seeing this big figure. It is very simple thing. I'll explain you in a moment. What do we have? We have something called as product backlog. This is product backlog. From this, we'll take a feature into sprint backlog. This is sprint backlog. What is a feature? Login is a feature. Search is a feature. Mail is a feature. Any functionality is a feature. We'll take a feature into sprint backlog. Sprint backlog, sprint is of 30 days here. That means they are taking 4 weeks. 4-week sprint. This is a sprint. Okay. After end of after we finish this sprint, we'll have something called as new functionality, and there will be a demo of that new functionality at the end of the sprint. Okay. Every 24 hours, that means daily, we'll have a meeting called as Scrum meeting. In Scrum meeting, it is 10 to 15 minutes meeting. We'll do 3 things. What did you do since last Scrum meeting? That means yesterday. Do you have any obstacles? Do you have any problems? Or what will you do before next sprint meeting? That means tomorrow. That's it. So what do we have here? We have sprint product backlog. From product backlog, we'll take into sprint backlog, and these 4 weeks we'll have all the stages: requirements, design, development, and testing. In these 4 weeks, we'll complete all these things, and then a new product will be developed. And every 24 hours, we'll go through this Scrum meeting. Any doubts in this figure?
What if the test cases, I mean, the testing is not completed in 30 days?
You need to plan your testing so that it completes in 30 days. If it is not completed, it will go to next. You won't release the feature itself.
Okay.
Okay, that will go to the next sprint. Every piece of work is divided. It is not big chunk of work, like you won't design the entire thing at a time. It is divided into smaller chunks called as user stories. Okay, so if it is left over, only 1 or 2 tickets will be left over, and that will be carried forward to next sprint. Work is divided into smaller parts. For example, login screen is divided into login screen is a very small example actually, but we'll take some other example. We'll take Gumtree. We'll take Gumtree. Gumtree, suppose we are developing this home page. So this ads is a feature. So they will take it as a separate feature. This search functionality is a feature. They'll take as a separate feature. These links are different features. And each feature you will develop separately. So if you are not finished with something, you will not release that. You'll release, accept ads, you'll have everything on this page. And slowly next sprint, you'll add this ads in this page. So if it is left over, it will be moved forward to next sprint. That's all. And don't worry, when you finish tomorrow's class, you will understand what user story is and how do we test.